This jelly bean clocks in at 500,000 Scoville units, and if I keep dying in little nightmares, then I will be forced to eat it. And yes, there's even hotter candies after this one. I just wanted to make a Halloween special. Pretty sure I just signed my own death sentence.
So let's start where it all began, the original Little Nightmares. You play as this little girl named Six, equipped with nothing but a lighter. Your only goal is to escape the Maw, a massive ship filled with grotesque monsters who all want to eat you. The gameplay is pretty simple. Some rooms are just puzzles and others are tense stealth sections where you're sneaking past monsters. It's always in this rhythm of puzzle, monster, with the first monster being the janitor. This long-armed thing supervises the children, and yeah, it doesn't take long before he's chasing you down.
The issue is, Six gets hungry. Like really hungry.
And hunger means you can't move until you eat something. The janitor takes advantage of this, but eventually you beat him by chopping his arms off in an elevator door. Brutal. But one monster down means more to go, like the twin cooks who, and you're not going to believe this, want to cook you. They're all serving these giant guests who, and you're not going to believe this, want to eat you.
Alright, I kinda need to bring up something important, but found throughout the Maw are these little white gnomes. Usually they just run to a hiding spot, but you can walk up to them and hug them. Anyways, I'm telling you this because one time when Six gets hungry, she eats one of them. This is very important, so remember it.
Finally, you face the lady. She's got dark powers, but also hates mirrors, so you just reflect her to death? Then Six bites her neck, steals her powers, and escapes.
Little Nightmares is simple, but super effective.
The puzzles are easy, but the atmosphere, shots, and environments are amazing. There's almost no music, which makes the sound design extra eerie. The monsters are great too, simple names like the twin, the lady, but they work. The tension stays high without relying on cheap jump scares. The only downside, the lady section is too short. You fight her and the game's just over. Still, it's gorgeous and fun the whole way through.
Another issue are with the controls. A lot of the time it's like, alright Six, I need you to jump over to that ledge. How?
In the end, I got caught by monsters 11 times, fell twice, got eaten once, and even shocked myself on purpose for a total of 15 deaths. That's 150 Scoville units.
Which is no hotter than regular hot sauce. So here's the first candy. A marshmallow with hot sauce on it. Yeah, I couldn't find a candy at such a low Scoville unit.
It is the weirdest thing in the world. It is like super sweet. Like it just tastes like marshmallow most of the time. And then there's just like that little kick of hot sauce, and I'm like, it's not the worst combination in the world. Would I continue eating hot sauce on marshmallows? No. No. What?
That's the story of Six, but she wasn't the only kid trapped on the Maw. Secrets of the Maw follows another kid, the runaway boy. His journey runs parallel to Six's, and let's just say, it doesn't end as happily. While Six climbs upwards, the boy is dragged down to the depth, where he fights off Granny by tossing a TV in the water and frying her.
Yeah, there's no such thing as a mercy kill in this game.
After that, he gets captured by the janitor, but quickly escapes and actually teams up with the gnomes, who have a much bigger role now. They can help solve puzzles, hit switches, and most importantly, keep the furnace running, collecting a small army of them to shovel coal like it's straight out of a Studio Ghibli movie. Eventually, you make it to the lady's chamber, dodging shadow children along the way, but instead of escaping, the boy is caught and transformed into a gnome. The very same one Six eats later.
See, I told you to remember this moment. And yep, it is just as depressing as it sounds.
As an expansion, Secrets of the Maw is solid. There are tougher puzzles, the pacing feels tighter, and the atmosphere is still incredible. It's only 3 chapters, but it feels bigger than that.
The controls though are still clunky. It was still like, alright boy, I need you to jump over to that ledge. Again?
After 7 monster grabs, 2 falls, a leech, me being curious whether or not this hole is bottomless, Spoiler it is. And that little matter of being eaten later. The runaway boy racks me up 13 deaths. That brings the spicy score up to 280 Scoville units.
But let's crank up the heat. From here on out, every game is going to get a multiplier, because my friend thought it'd be funny and I agreed. But now I regret it, but it's too late.
Since this DLC is a 10 out of 10, we're multiplying that total by 10. That rocks it up to 2,800 Scoville units. And for that, I got chamois covered rainbow strips.
Oh goodness, that was right. It was sweet, sour, spicy. It ends with like a hell of a kick at the end. Weird. I enjoy it though. That's actually not that bad.
So what's new in Little Nightmares 2? At first glance, it's the same puzzle monster cycle, but this time, everything's bigger. Bigger maps, scarier monsters, and now I've got a helper. Some little girl I found in the hunter's basement.
He's a crack shot, but I've played every Doom game before.
Then we went to school. We didn't have books. There were no bad lunches, but there were a lot of traps.
The classic bucket swing. Alright, yeah, I won't fall for that one again.
And the teacher's neck stretches further than my patience. At least this time, I can finally fight back. Swinging weapons at creepy porcelain kids never felt so satisfying. The girl is eventually revealed to be 6, and we make it to the psychic ward, filled with mannequins that only move when you're not looking.
But I know just what to do. Spin around in circles.
Meanwhile, Mono keeps getting sucked into TVs until he accidentally summons the Thin Man. Dumb name. Terrifying villain. He kidnaps 6, I chase him through televisions, and we have this gorgeous cinematic showdown where entire buildings bend around us.
Now all I need to do is save 6. What happened to you?
In the finale, I destroy the music box to save 6, we team up like always, until she betrays me and drops me into the abyss. I rot on a chair until I literally become the Thin Man.
Thanks, 6. Nothing could be worse than this.
Little Nightmares 2 is everything a sequel should be. Bigger levels, tougher puzzles, more cinematic shots, but still paced perfectly. Having Mono and 6 work together is adorable. The atmosphere is more terrifying than ever, and now the monsters themselves are horrifying. The chase sequences are a bit frustrating. One slip up and you die, but overall the game expands on everything the first did right and more. Honestly, the perfect sequel.
And you're not going to believe what killed me the most. Yeah, they still haven't fixed that.
Alright, here's a death tally. 29 times caught by monsters, 9 times I fell into pits, 8 traps, half of those were buckets, and then 7 deaths thanks to 6, my so-called friend, 4 chase sequences that crushed me, 2 electrocutions, and having a bookshelf fall on me for a total of 60 deaths. That brings us to 3,400 Scoville units.
But because this is Little Nightmares 2, we're going to actually multiply that by 200, actually bringing us to just over 500,000 Scoville units. I don't think my stomach is ready for this.
And this is where the real pain begins. These jelly beans are made with actual habanero peppers.
It smells like Play-Doh. Did I buy the wrong candy? That wasn't spicy at all. Oh, there it is. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, that hit. Ooh, that hit. That was just one. Why was that so spicy all of a sudden? It was just like, that was the sweetest thing in the world. And it's just, oh, it's kicking my ass now. What is happening? It don't taste like Play-Doh. Thank God. You know what we gotta do? Handful of jelly beans. Not because it was spicy. It just tasted like crap. But the spice is still in my mouth. Oh, the spice is still kicking in, actually.
But it's finally time for the latest installment.
What about the mobile game?
The mobile what?
Very Little Nightmares is a game made for people who think Funko Pops are scary. It is the first time I could say the gameplay is different. Mostly because there isn't any. You just tap on the screen and the girl in the raincoat, not 6, I cannot stress that enough, walks wherever you tapped. Because of that, the game leans heavily on puzzles instead of chase sequences. There are a few, but the puzzles are way tougher this time. Mostly because, well, that's all this game really has going for it.
I never struggled with the puzzles in the first 2 games, but this one stumped me.
As for the story, there's not much of one. You got monsters that fit the series, the craftsman, the butler, and the spoiled brat known as the Pretender, but it mostly feels like you're just solving room after room until the credits roll. The first 2 games told full stories, escaping the Maw, uncovering the mystery of the Thin Man, but this is just solve the puzzle, move on. The only twist comes at the end when you die, and the girl in white, who you've been seeing throughout the entire game, turns out to be 6.
And for such a simple game, you think I wouldn't die a lot. Yeah, no.
Most of my deaths came from dumb stuff, steamed pipes, following laundry, questionable curiosity. I died so much, I actually lost count. Oh, thank God there's an achievement for it. Turns out I died 58 times. 30 caught by enemies, 7 turned to stone, 6 by steam, 5 crushed by trash, 4 lost by balance, 2 electrocutions, 2 chandelier falls, and 1 I fell through the floor for good measure.
Oh, wait a minute. There's only 57 deaths. Can none of you jump?
That brings our total Scoville count to 680,580, which, for YouTube's sake, we'll round that up to 681,000. Multiply that by 4.4, since this game is a 4.4 out of 10. That gives us a spicy total of 3 million Scoville units.
And for that, I found the perfect candy. A marshmallow covered in the Hot Ones The Last Dab hot sauce. Listen, there's a massive gap in the spicy candy scene. It's either 1 million Scoville units or 10 bajillion. This is the best I could do.
I've seen what this sauce does to celebrities, so this isn't something I can take lightly.
Come out like paste. How much is an appropriate amount? It looks like poop. I should do like the Shaquille O'Neal thing where it's just like, oh. Oh. What's this? Oh god, oh god, oh god. I know. I was doing a joke. It's not helping. It's not helping. It's not helping. It's not helping. It lingers in the back of your throat. I don't know if you've noticed. My eyes are closed. I'm literally not. I can't open my eyes. It's still there. That hurt a little bit. That's the best way I could describe it. They should rename it to Satan's butthole. That's what it tastes like.
Finally, Little Nightmares 3, made by a different developer this time. Tarsier Studios was acquired by Embracer Group, but Bandai Namco still owned the Little Nightmares IP. And seeing how much money the games have made for them, they wanted to make more. So they headed off to Supermassive Games. And they most certainly tried. It stars 2 new characters, Low and Alone, as they follow a map that might lead them home. Apparently, the desert isn't home. And there's a monster baby. Immediately, you can feel the difference in gameplay. The characters each have one specialty. Low can shoot things, and Alone can whack things.
So why would they do this? Well, it's because the game is meant to be played in multiplayer.
The whole idea is teamwork, you and a friend relying on each other's strengths. But Little Nightmares was never really about teamwork. Sure, you had CPU 6 helping you in Little Nightmares 2, but those moments were rare. Most of the time, Mono was on his own.
But I'm getting ahead of myself. What actually happens in the game?
After escaping the baby, Low uses his mirror teleporting powers to teleport through mirrors. They end up in a candy factory and ew, a spider, crush it! Maybe the next mirror will work. Nope. Carnival. I do like how the monster has a little puppet of himself, and I especially like it when I burned that puppet. Throughout the game, Lo gets visions of his times in a psychic ward. Eventually, you end up back in that same ward, with what looks like a massive anaconda. Nope, that's a foot. There's some giant person here. I love the moment when you find a doll of Alone that Lo used to have, and holding it creates a bubble of the past around you. It is such a cool touch. Anyways, the giant attacks, they work together to beat him, and then we learn that Alone was just a figment of Lo's imagination. Knowing this, she refuses to go through the next mirror with him, disappears, and Lo, desperate to bring her back, tries to fix the mirror.
This game was big monsters, big levels, big everything. The series isn't called Big Nightmares.
So many things happen in this game. But looking back, it's like nothing really happened. Because of the multiplayer focus, they couldn't do the same kind of tension you get from being alone. It still has the sneaking, the puzzles, the chase sequences, but something just feels off. The atmosphere isn't as oppressive. When monsters showed up in Little Nightmares 2, you felt the threat. Like, oh crap, I need to be quiet now. In Little Nightmares 3, it's like they put a spotlight on the monsters. Sometimes literally, full-on cutscenes where you lose control. Even the lack of background music like in the previous games tries to sell the atmosphere, but it doesn't quite land the same way this time. It's gorgeous, it's cinematic, but that's the problem. The game tries so hard to be a cinematic experience, it loses its horror aspect.
Did I still enjoy the game? Yeah, I still had fun while playing it, but I much rather be playing Little Nightmares 2.
Now onto the deaths, and
you know what? It actually doesn't matter. We're at 3 million Scoville units. What's another 40 deaths going to do to it? And you already know the most common cause. Oh my god. He actually did it! He actually made the jump! Oh, come on!
But since this is Little Nightmares 3, we'll multiply that score by 3, bringing us to a final Scoville count of 9 million. Where do I even find a candy that spicy? Don't worry, I always find a new way to torture myself. Allow me to introduce the world's spiciest gummy bear, Little Nitro. Clocking in at 9 million Scoville units, it's somehow 3 times hotter than the last dab. This is not something I should be playing around with. So if you made it this far in the video, be sure to subscribe. Let's do this.
Oh, he has a little TNT thing. I don't know if you guys can't see that. He has a little TNT. He's on a TNT thing. That's adorable. Did I order the wrong gummy bear? Oh no, there it is. No. What? It's not that spicy. Huh? Now it's getting there. Oh no. Oh no, don't tell me that. Do you know what this is? It's increasing heat. It doesn't hit all at once. It's still going up. It's still going up. It's still. Why is it creeping? It keeps creeping up. It keeps creeping up. It's so bad. It tasted sweet like a gummy bear. Also, it. It's still going up. Why is it increasing? It's increasing. I said this would be a funny video. My eyes are closed again and I can't open them. I probably look like I'm tweaking. I'm telling you, I'm in pain. Dying down. Guys, trust me, it's dying down. Trust me. It's dying down. I think I'm trying to just placebo myself into thinking it's not spicy.
Little Nightmares is one of my favorite horror series. It does such a great job making you feel small and helpless compared to the monsters that you're facing, which makes outsmarting them or even outright killing them so much more satisfying. The atmosphere is unbeatable. It doesn't rely on cheap jump scares and lets the world speak for itself. And the fact that it tells such a deep, enthralling story without a single line of dialogue is incredible. There's so much more lore outside of the games too, from comic books to podcasts. For some reason. Little Nightmares 1 told a horror story we'd never seen before. Little Nightmares 2 perfected it, and while Little Nightmares 3 isn't flawless, it was still great to experience this world with a friend. At least it's not very Little Nightmares.
Even though my stomach is in immense pain, I was so happy to replay this series in a new light. You know, that really does not look like a far jump. I bet you I can make it.
Elephant green screen effect.